Welcome to my studio. I'm just about to do a little color mixing today. I've been working on this painting using gray tones, which is called painting in grisaille, and soon I'd like to start adding color. I'm using this coffee cup as inspiration for the color of the walls in the painting, so today I'm going to start out by trying to match that color. The cup is a pale bluish green, reminiscent of Celadon pottery or the verdigris patina that happens when copper oxidizes, like the roof details on this building right across from my Manhattan apartment, which was actually my inspiration for getting dishes in this color. It's a common color scheme for 18th century interiors, which fits with my historical research for this painting. I'm working by a window because I find that I can see color most accurately in natural light. I have just a few oil paints set out, 3 primary colors, red, blue, and yellow, plus white. In this exercise, I'm trying to mix the local color, the actual substance that the cup is made out of, rather than the shadows and highlights that are caused by the light falling on it. Phthalo blue, which is this pigment here, is very strong, so I just want to add a tiny little bit. So it's a little bit light and it's still not green enough. So I'm going to take just a little bit more of the blue to darken it down a little bit. Hansa yellow is fairly strong as well, so I'm going to mix the white and the yellow together so that I don't end up mixing too much into the original mixture of blue and white, which is fairly close already to the color of the cup. Alright, I'll take a little scrape of this and add it into my blue mixture. It's possibly a little bit light still, so here I'll add a little more of the blue back into the mixture to darken it a little bit. I'm also going to mix the red with a little bit of white, and this is in case I need to neutralize the mixture. There's the hue, so is it red, orange, yellow, green, blue, or violet? And then there's value, which is how light or dark the color is, and then there's chroma, and I've also heard this called chromatic intensity or saturation, and this is how much color there is in the mixture versus how much gray. So how neutral it is or how intense it is. So in order to neutralize something, you can either add a neutral to it. Another way you can do it is by adding the complement or the near complement. Green is the complement of red, or red is the complement of green in this case. So if you add red to green, it will neutralize the green. So I'm going to just check this again. It looks just about the right value, the lightness or darkness, but it needs a little bit more yellow in it. To me, it's looking very close, but it feels a little bit too colorful, a little bit too saturated. It looks like just about the right value. It's not too dark, but it has too much vibrancy to the color, so it's too much chroma. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit of this red mixture. So I'm going to try just dab a little bit. It looks a little bit light. First I'm going to just mix these 3 together to make a color that kind of takes it in the direction that I want it to go. What I've made is kind of a grayish green, kind of a darker version of this. Alright, now I'm going to take most of that and this and mix them together. That way I have some left over that I can lighten this mixture with if I find that I've taken it too far. And I have the feeling that I went a little too far, possibly neutralized it a little bit too much. So I'm not going to touch the red now because I know I need to bring it back to be a little bit more chromatic, a little bit more saturated. And I definitely don't want to make it any darker, so I want to lighten this mixture up. A lot of mixing is just going back and forth, and I'm not sure how entertaining it is to watch, but you have to go first to one side and then to the other and finally find the right balance. So this is a little bit darker than this, and I want to keep it the same value. So what I want to do is mix a little bit of this and a little bit of this together. Just add a little bit more white. So I'm going to take some of this mixture, and again I'm keeping some in reserve, and some of this. Mixing this way with 3 very strong, intense primaries can be a little bit tricky. You need to have a lot of control in order to make corrections in the right amount and not swing wildly from one extreme to the other. But the advantage is it's a very simple palette, and you can achieve a wide range of colors just with these 3 pigments because the hues are fairly evenly spaced around the color wheel and they're very strong. So I think it looks pretty good. In future videos, I'll show various pathways of mixing this color or similar colors as I kind of refine the exact shade that I want for this project. Now, I'm not going to be saving my paint mixture for future use except in the form of a swatch. So I've painted out a swatch here both on gray and on white, and I'll be referring to that as I adjust this mixture. I'm kind of using the coffee cup as a starting point, and then I'm going to refine the color from there based on further experiments. And when I get the color right, what I want to do is paint the walls of a small scale model that I'm making so that I can set that up in front of a window and do a color study from it that I can then refer to as I add color to my painting.